Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of No Anesthetic, a collection of extreme horror. And this was published by Splatter Inc. Publishing, says right here, a Splatter Inc. Publishing anthology. So this was sent to me in exchange for an honest review. It was actually sent to me by Nick over at Spooky Noodles. So there are 10 stories in this book. Of the 10 stories in this book, let me see. I got a cheat sheet right here. Want to keep up with it. Okay, here we go. All right, 3 of the stories are 3 stars, 6 of the stories are 4-star, and 1 of the stories is a 5-star rating. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try my best to go through each of the stories, not give away too much, just give you a little idea of what they're about and the rating that I give them, and hopefully why I give it to them, all right? So the first one we got is Woodshed by Ronald Kelly. Now, I gave this one a 3-star rating. This is about this kid. The best way to describe the kid is he's pretty much a psychopath or a sociopath. And he's on a bus. He hates his school bus driver. And he's got some rather violent and rather murderous or torturous ideas of things to do with her. All right. And without going into too far into it, don't want to spoil anything, but it doesn't quite go the way it is, way plans it, all right? I give this one 3 stars because it just seems to be a whole lot tamer than most of the stories in this anthology. The writing is really tight, the writing is solid and everything, but like I said, it just seems to be a little bit tamed, especially for being the start of the anthology. So there you go. Next one is we've got The Fixer Upper, and this is by Eric Butler. I give this one 4 stars. This is about a couple that they are at this home that they're fixing up, and they are assaulted and beaten up, assaulted, sexually assaulted, and it's a tale of revenge. All right. Now, the reason I gave this 4 stars, I love stories like this. I love stories where somebody has something done to them, like in Aaron Beauregard's Yellow or in John Athan's The Groomer, and where it just causes someone to snap and they just go all out on a killing spree, just killing anybody that had anything to do with what happened to them. The only reason I gave this one 4 stars instead of 5 is because I just wasn't wholly satisfied with the ending. It's just not the ending I was hoping for. Alright, so that may be a little bit nitpicky, but that's me, okay? Next up is Sometimes the Bear, and this is by Brian Rosenberger and John Bowden. I give this one 4 stars also. This is Bigfoot horror is what it is, okay? It's about these good old boys. Let me rephrase that. It is about these horny good old boys that decide they are going to fake a Bigfoot sighting, which means they all get together, get their cameras, and one of them dresses up like a Bigfoot, okay? Thing about it is, when you do something like that, you kind of need to make sure there's not a real Bigfoot in the area, because things might not go exactly the way you want them to. This one had me disturbed and laughing my ass off at the same time. I'm like, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, oh that's hilarious. Oh my God, oh that's hilarious. That's the way I felt about this story. Loved it. 4 stars, all right? Next up we have Blut Anton, and that is by Damascus Menzmeyer, and Blut Anton means blood and clay in German. And it's about Nazi soldiers who are pilfering or going through this one village, and they are warned that Der Teufel, I think is how you pronounce it, or the devil, is there, and they do not heed the warning. Another solid 4-star story. I really enjoyed this one. Alright, and then we have A Night at the Movies. Okay, Night at the Movies by J.F. Capps. And it's about a boy and a girl that go to a movie. This is back in the, I want to say, maybe in modern times. I can't remember if it's in modern times, but they go to see this movie called The Ooze. You know, kind of along the lines of The Blob or something like that. But what they didn't plan on was that there would be an alien presence that would be also there at the movie theater, and that alien presence complicates things. And to be honest, I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, 4 stars, and to be honest with you, I don't know if I will ever read the phrase butthole with tentacles in a story ever again. But yes, I heard that expression. Also, brown butthole. That one really got me too. I love that one. That's awesome. So yes, all right. So there you go. Night of the Movies. Next up, we have Sebastian and the Jungle of Misery by Scott Harper, another 4-star story. This is basically a vampire tale that instead of taking place in Transylvania or in New York City, or where a lot of settings for vampire stories or whatever are set, it actually takes place in the jungles of Africa. And it's basically about a kind of a war between 2 vampires. One is the vampire that created the other vampire, and then of course the other vampire that was created. Kind of a, I don't know, kind of a turf war, if you want to say, you know. All right, who's the strongest? Who's the mightiest vampire? Again, another solid story, 4 stars, all right? Next up, we have Glutton of the Sea by Simon McCarty. Another one is solid 4 stars. And this is one of those that if you're going to read it, kind of have a sea shanty playing in your head, you know, or however sea shanties go, I don't recall. Anyway, this is about a young man who meets a beautiful young woman in a seaside village, and he takes her home to have sex with her because that is what you do. And she becomes something altogether hideous. Let's just put it that way. Another solid story. A lot of these stories are just really solid, excellent stories, all right? So there you go. Next up, we got Pain and Nails, and this is by C.M. Saunders. I give this one 3 stars. It's about this guy that wakes up, and he wakes up to find that his appendage... And I'll just say it this way, it's not the arm or the leg, so you can guess which appendage it is. He wakes up to find that it is bleeding, and that there is a black painted fingernail embedded in his appendage, okay? So he takes it out, but then from the fingernail grows a finger, and so on and so forth. And this was kind of a tale of revenge, and again, like I said, a solid story, just didn't quite make the 4-star rating for me, okay? Alright, next up we have The Hate Box in Her Heart, and this is by Thomas R. Clarke, another solid 3-star story. And this is about a woman whose husband gets stinking, puking, shitting drunk at a dinner party, and she has to clean up after him to her embarrassment, because everybody sees exactly what has happened, okay? And you kind of find out things about this woman and her past that are not very pleasant. In fact, she's kind of had to clean up after a lot of things, and she's pretty much ape shit crazy, okay? That's what she is, all right? Like I said, solid story, hit me for 3 stars. All right, the final story is The Verdict, and that is by A.M. Bacon. And this is a solid 5-star story. This is the kind of story I love to read when it comes to extreme horror. This is about a man that is put on trial for his many acts of sexual assault and torture. And the verdict, the sentence, or whatever that is carried out is absolutely gruesome. This is the kind of story I think of when I read extreme horror, okay? All right, so that being said, overall, I think I'm going to give this one a 3.5. Overall, I think I'm going to give the story collection or anthology a 3.5-star rating. And like I said, the main reason is a lot of the stories in this were just, for extreme horror, they just seem kind of tame to me. All right, with exception of stories like The Verdict, stories like The Glutton of the Sea, and then I think maybe one other. They just seemed a little bit tame. And again, this may be nitpicking on my part because After reading stories by people like Aaron Beauregard, who pulls no punches, Daniel J. Volpe pulls no punches, and John Athan, who absolutely pulls no punches with his extreme horror, yeah, like I said, these just seemed a little bit tame, okay? So again, like I said, nitpicking, but that's my rating. 3.5 stars. So this book is going to release, has not been released yet, is going to release on November 1st of this year. In other words, 2 days from now. This is a Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and post this on Sunday afternoon, Halloween afternoon, so you guys can get an idea of whether you want to buy it or not. It's a really solid book. I do recommend it. You know, if you're somebody that's kind of wanting to start off in the extreme horror genre, this might be just the book for you, okay? So that's it. That is my review of, once again, going to hold it up right here, No Anesthetic, an extreme horror anthology published by Splatter Inc. Publishing. All right? So, thank you for watching, and take care, and stay scared. Bye-bye.